guys. Okay, so I didn't get to finish filming yesterday like I wanted to. It's now Monday night. So what I wanted to do now was show you guys how to make the mug that I talked about. Also wanted to discuss some things from my previous footage because I was editing that together today. Funny thing, when you see me in the restaurant with this shirt on, this shirt here, I didn't realize I left the size tag on it. So when I film it and I show the shirt, the shiny thing is actually the size tag. About a second after I stopped filming that video, I realized it was still on the shirt and pulled it off. That's just a funny thing. That's very me. Anyway, the other thing is I finished season 2 of Stranger Things. I watched all 9 episodes in like one day. It was amazing. There's a new character named Max that's like hanging out with the boys, and she is the best. I love her so much. Oh my goodness. And then as always, I love Hopper. He's my favorite, absolute favorite. And I always love Nancy. She's my girl. That's who I'm going for to the office for Halloween. And then who doesn't love 11? But Will had this amazing storyline. It was amazing. It was amazing. I love Sean Astin in it. I love Paul Reiser in it. I loved everything about it. I think the Duffer Brothers are amazing filmmakers and storytellers, and it's crazy. All the things that they thought about doing. I'm straightening my tripod. I'm sorry. It's a little crooked. It struck me crazy. Okay. So I really loved it. I was not disappointed at all. I haven't looked to see what other people's reactions are yet. I'm the only person at my office that finished all 9 episodes, so I couldn't really talk about it with anybody. I thought everybody was going to be done by today, but they weren't, so I didn't get to talk about it. I did talk about it with somebody on Twitter for a little bit, which was fun. So I'm ready for other people to watch all 9 episodes, though, because I want to gush. You know, I want to talk about spoilers, but I can't right now. Okay, so that's my reaction to Stranger Things. The other thing is I never told you my opinion on the milkshake, the Krispy Kreme milkshake at Max Burger. I forgot, I didn't tell you that. It was so good. I thought it was going to be so like sugary sweet like the glaze on the donut, but it wasn't. It was creamy, which is my favorite kind of milkshake or any dessert. I think what they did is it was like vanilla ice cream with like the donut like ground up in it. And then Cool Whip on top. It wasn't whipped cream, it was Cool Whip with the Krispy Kreme donut. And they had some, I think it was butterscotch in there. It might have been caramel, but I'm pretty sure it was butterscotch. And it was delicious. A little overpriced. It was like $6.50, which I don't think any milkshake is worth $6.50. Although, I'm not sure what I pay for the peanut butter and jelly milkshakes at Tune In Lounge next to Sci-Fi, next to 50s Primetime. But whatever price that is, it's totally worth it because it's delicious. But Krispy Kreme milkshake was good, but I thought it was a little expensive. But the food there was all pretty good. The fried green tomatoes were a little tough, which I think I said in the video. The onion rings were really good. The french fries were really good. They had sweet potato fries, which were also really good. And my burger was delicious. So, all in all, I liked it. I think they could probably, you know, price down those milkshakes a little bit. But other than that, it's a pretty good place to eat. So, that wraps up the footage you'll see before this. And now we get to the crafty part. And that's where we make the mug. And I left my example mug in the other room, so I'll have to go and get that in a second. But what we're going to do is we're going to take this mug, this blank, cheap dollar mug, and we're going to decorate it using a oil-based paint pen. That's what this is. Deco color. I usually like the Sharpie ones, but I couldn't find those. Well, I know where they are. I just couldn't get to them. So I bought this one to use. It's red, like Stranger Things. You also need a pencil, just a regular number 2 pencil. It's totally fine. And then a piece of paper. Because what I like to do is I sketch out my design first so that I know what I'm doing. And then I take the pencil and I sketch it onto the mug with the pencil so that I have a line to trace over with the paint pen. Cuts down on mistakes, saves a little time. The other thing is when you're doing this, step 1 is to wash the mug. I wash it with dish soap and water. Some people also go over it with alcohol after they're done. I think if you wash it with the dish soap and the water, it's not necessary. Just make sure you let the mug dry. And make sure you take off like the paper labels on the bottom, because you're going to put this mug in the oven later. So probably taking all the paper off of it is a good idea. Yeah. So those are the things you'll need. The oil-based paint pen, pen number 2 pencil, piece of paper, and your dollar store mug. Plain white is probably best if you want your colors to pop, but I have seen people use colored mugs as long as they're lighter colors. If you have a metallic pen, you can use a dark mug, because I have done that and it worked out really well. So there's that. So if you'll bear with me, I'm going to go get my example mug so I can show you guys what we're going to do. We're not going to do this exact design because, well, this one's for me because it's my favorite Hopper quote. But I want to go get it so I can show it to you. It's basically like those DIY Sharpie mugs everybody's doing on the internet, except the Sharpie washes off and these don't. You can't put it in the dishwasher, but you can hand wash it and this will not come off. So that's good. So I'm going to stop the video for a second, go get that mug so I can show it to you. Oh, and I can use my remote. That's what this is. I have a wireless remote now. Isn't that cool? Mornings are for coffee, check. Contemplation, check. Work, Hopper does not approve of work in the mornings, just coffee and contemplation. So this is the one I did yesterday. This one is, I did this one really quick. Really simple design. I'm one of those minimalist people, so I don't really need my mugs to say a whole lot. Plus I think it's kind of cool that I customized it myself. I may add something down here. I usually like to put like the show where it came from. I have the librarian's mugs that I did like this. That's what I did. I did a big quote and then I did the librarians on the back of it so that anyone who used it would know that it came from something and it wasn't just a quote that I made up in my head. So I'm probably going to do that to this one too. I just forgot the other night. But we are going to get started on this mug. So I've got my pen. Now when you first get a paint pen, you do need to, usually they have instructions. This one doesn't really have instructions. But you do need to shake it. And then if you're just opening it, you need to take a piece of paper or probably actually something thicker like cardboard and press the tip of the paint pen down on the cardboard, holding it like this with the point down. That way the paint moves down into the tip. And you want to do it until it's writing smoothly. That way you're not having to do that on your mug. That can cause some mistakes. Also, if you do make any mistakes, I've seen some bloggers say that you can take like a pin, like a really thin like pin for sewing or something like that, and scrape it off very slightly. You can also dip alcohol or dip a Q-tip in alcohol and use a Q-tip to erase anything. If you do that, you want to make sure you get any smears off, because if you bake it with the smears, your mug is going to look very smeary. And you don't want that to happen because it looks kind of dirty. But we're going to get started. So I'm going to shake my pen. I'm going to set it aside. All right. And now I've got my design already sketched out here. It is a Stranger Things mug, sort of like an inside joke. That's what I like my mugs to be. I like it to be things that people who watch the show would know, but maybe not necessarily everybody would. So this is what we're going to put on the mug. I'm going to fold it so you guys can see it. Hopefully it turns out like this. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't, but at least I will have tried. So this is what we're doing. This was the final design I decided on. It says, the curiosity door is locked until I have coffee. Dustin would be proud, I think, except I don't know that Dustin drinks coffee. But I like to put my phrase or whatever design on this side of the mug. So I turn the handle toward away from me if I'm drawing on it like this. That way I have the front right in front of me, so you get it on the middle. Some people do that a little differently. I know some people like to have them here, like by the handle. I just think that makes the rest of the mug look awfully empty. So I do it on the middle. It's up to you. So here we go. Okay, and now that we have traced the design onto our mug, or sketched it onto our mug, we're going to trace over it with our paint pen. Okay, so I'm done with the painting. This is what it looks like. It's a little sloppier than I'd like, but still pretty good. I messed up a little bit on the word until, so the I on until is a little thicker than it should be, but that's alright. So it says, the curiosity door is locked until I have coffee. Now what I do is I'm going to let this sit. I usually let it sit and dry for about an hour or two. Different blogs say different things, so nobody really has a consensus. Some people say 72 hours to let it dry. Some people say 24, others say 30 minutes. I think it falls somewhere in between. I'm too impatient to make my mug sit for 72 hours to dry, so I normally let mine sit for about an hour. Sometimes 2 if I'm just really busy. It's fine. It doesn't matter how long it sits, really, as long as it sits more than a half hour, I would say. It's just on your comfort level and your experience with the mugs. I haven't had any bad experiences with them if I've let them sit for an hour. I did have one that I only let sit for about 30 minutes. I baked it, and then the paint started coming off of it, like scratching off of it. So I've started letting them sit for an hour and then baking for half an hour, and that seems to work. So you let it sit however long you're comfortable with, and then you put it on a pan, like a baking sheet, in the oven, and you go ahead and set the temperature on the oven to bake at 350 and put the mug in there while it's preheating. Don't wait until it's, all the way heated up until it beeps. Go ahead and put it in there. Let the oven sit in there let the mug sit in there while it's preheating, and leave it in there for 30 minutes. And then after the 30-minute mark, turn the oven off and leave it in the oven. That's important. Leave it in the oven until the oven is completely cool. You don't want to take it out right at the 30 minutes when you turn the oven off, because the mug could crack, because you're taking it from super hot air to cool air in the span of like a second. So all of that cool air rushing into the hot ceramic here could cause an issue. And I just realized I got paint on the handle. Whoops. Oh well. Oh, it's because it's on my thumb. There you go. See, crafting with me is reality, not expectation. So it looks like we're done. I'll try and show you this mug. I keep touching it with my thumb that has paint on it. I'll try and show you this mug next vlog, not blog, so you guys can see it when it's all done. There you go. That's the end of that. So I hope you enjoyed this Stranger Things themed vlog. I may include a little bit tomorrow morning when I'm in my Nancy costume, just to throw in at the end. So we'll see. But if I don't, then I hope you guys have a happy Halloween, and I hope you stay geeky, girly, and proud. Bye, guys.